My name is Kwabna Chenche Henebwati. Many thanks for joining us here on News Today. In our first story, General Secretary of the Governing National Democratic Congress, Johnson Esiedun Ketia, is accusing the New Patriotic Party of orchestrating the DKM microfinance scandal to cause disaffection for the governing NDC. In the Joy News exclusive, Mr. Esiedun Ketia says the investments appear to have been deliberately stolen by certain figures within the opposition New Patriotic Party with a promise to bring them back once Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is elected president. He's been speaking to Joy News editor and head of political desk, Evans Mensah.
Heard about some people calling themselves customers of DKM who in reality are not customers of DKM.
How do you know that?
They're just MPP operative. But the record of DKM customers.
Did you check to verify?
Yes, I checked. Those who signed the press release threatening demonstration, none of them is a customer of DKM. So this is some well-beaten path. So, and we are happy that they don't change. So we are able to predict what they will be doing. And that's good for us. So I wasn't surprised about that because the way Tamale shook when Honorable Inusa did his campaign launch. So they wanted something just thrown in there to take the shine away from that activity.
You've done politics far longer than most. Let me ask you about, people see a trend happening now where, apart from the main campaign launch of the party, we are seeing almost like a competition between the candidates, parliamentary candidates who also launch their campaign. And it's always huge on a massive scale. I mean, what is that new, and why is it so dominant
that is not new. As for campaigns, as for rallies, it's part of the campaign, but it could be deceptive if you just concentrated your campaign on holding rallies. The person-to-person touch at times is more effective. So even as our MPs decide to shock their opponents with these massive crowds, they are also very much aware that we've advised and trained them that campaign is just a one-to-one affair, and then elections are not won at district headquarters or constituency headquarters. They are won at a polling station, which is a branch. So, but in a sense, bringing your branch executives to a major campaign launch like that, at least they learn about what is contained in your manifesto. They are able to get maybe copies of the manifesto and other pieces of advice. So they go and then they continue the campaign in their respective branches. You know, in NDC, a branch is a polling station area. So when the 9 branch executives in the polling station area are engaged in the campaign, they don't need TNT, they don't need anything, it's just walking around the community. And if you are able to win in every polling station, you have won in the nation, because election results are declared at the polling station. All other things that happen to final declaration in Accra, just a question of putting figures together.
Well, the full interview airs later today at 3 p.m. on The Pulse, our news and news analysis program right here on your Joy News channel. Away from that now, and voting is underway for the election of a new presiding member at the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly after 8 failed attempts. The Assembly has been without Metropolitan Chief Executive and presiding member for several months now, and efforts to elect a new one have on several occasions ended in a deadlock. Now, the 8th attempt by the KMA to vote for a presiding member a few weeks back was marred by violence as some assembly members traded punches. Well, today, Erastus Aridonko is monitoring proceedings at the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly and joins me now on phone with a lot more. Erastus, good afternoon. Many thanks for joining us. Now, what's the latest as far as the election of a presiding member is concerned?
Well, voting has started about 2 minutes ago, and it's between Abraham Wadi, Ray, the Director Electoral Area Assembly member, and then Honorable Abisai, who is the member for the Bieswaba Electoral Area. Just like I said in the morning, they are going to vote on them when it has started. They are waiting for who gets prepared. And by this, I'm referring to 98 votes to be able to emerge presiding member of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. So currently, members are voting according to sub-metro lines, and then in some few minutes we shall be ending voting, and then counting will begin, and we will decide whether somebody really indeed came out with 98 votes. But early on, we had speeches from especially the regional minister, Alexander Akon, who indeed condemned last week's violence, but then blamed the widespread reportage on the media. He claims that these were isolated things and they did not know about it. It's not for the media that spread it. And so after his speech, they all called for unity. They called for the interest of the entire Kumasi, and he said that Kumasi is waiting on them to give them something to lead them for development, and so they should not disappoint the people of Kumasi. And so we are waiting to see the outcome of this first round of voting.
Erastus, pretty interesting the things we hear on the ground, but I remember that the last time, that's at the eighth session, that was to get a presiding member. We do know that they were considering an option of a simple majority rather than the 2/3 majority. Is that option still on the table as we speak?
Well, that was proposed and suggested by the Electoral Commission as well, but then they did not go with it. They are still saying that per the laws, the standing orders of the General Assembly, you have to get 2/3. And so they are voting for who gets 2/3. But as to whether the person who gets majority vote will be subjected to a yes or no vote, that has not been accepted by the Assembly yet. And so they are still going by the 2/3 majority to declare winner in this special voting.
Erastus, many thanks for that update. That was Ashanti regional correspondent. He's with sister station Love FM in Kumasi. Erastus Asaridonko. We'll bring you a lot more on this on our news analysis program, The Pulse, which airs at 3 p.m. right here on your election headquarters. Now, government has questioned the methodology used by the Mo Ibrahim Foundation for its latest rankings. The latest ranking retained Ghana at the 7th position in the field of governance in the 2015 Mo Ibrahim Index, but recorded a decline on 3 of 4 indicators over the last 10 years. The index seeks to assess the performance of countries by looking at the extent to which it meets the expectations of citizens politically, socially, and economically. Now, this year's ranking looked at the performance of 54 African countries over the past decade spanning 2006 to 2015, as well as the performance for the year 2015 itself. Well, my colleague Raymond Aqua has been studying the report and shared it with me earlier on News Desk.
The report actually is based on 4 thematic areas. The first thematic area, which is to do with the participation and human rights indicator. Ghana was ranked 4th out of the 54 countries with a record score of 72.1. If you look at the trend, this is an increase of 0.1 over the period. That's the decade, the 10 years review. Now, in the area of human specifically, Ghana was ranked 11th with a score of 64.2, and actually Ghana declined in that area by
the area of human
development 1.6% over the same 10-year period. On sustainable economic opportunity, Ghana placed 15th with a score of 39.1, but of course the decade trend actually shows we decline highest in this area, that is 4.2%. That's sustainable economic opportunity. In the area of safety and rule of law, Ghana scored 70.0, who placed the country at the position of 6th. But then again, the decade trend shows that there's been a decline of some 2.6 in this particular area too. So except for the area of participation and human rights, all the 3 other areas we decline. And these are the areas of safety and rule of law, the other areas of human development, and also sustainable economic development and opportunities.
Well, Communications Minister Dr. Edward Omanibuama, however, argues the methodology for the research must be questioned. Well, he's been speaking on the Super Morning Show.
We need to look at the actual data and do proper analysis of it. Otherwise, you will just be arriving at wrong conclusions. And that is the beauty of research work. That is why I want to know if it is World Economic Forum, if it is once again the Afro Barometer report. And I'm happy as the conversation is ongoing, the Afrobarometer influence in this work is being brought to the fore over and over again. Is this based on qualitative or quantitative?
It is a combination of both. I gave you the 4 areas that they did. Well, what?
If you pointed to me in the report where they are saying that it's a combination of both.
What I'd rather we focus on is what the report says and what you think is the evidence on the ground. Have you made strides as far as electricity infrastructure is concerned? That's the question that needs answering.
Over the past 10 years?
Yes, over the past 10 years.
Apart from 2006, 2007, where we experienced and the recent situation, the rest of the years we have not experienced info.
Communications Minister Dr. Edward Omanebo was speaking earlier on the Super Morning Show while he was speaking to Inshado. You're still watching news today here on your Journey Channel Multi TV. We'll return shortly to tell you the story of residents of Englishi Amanfrom, and it has to do with security. Stay with us. Many thanks for staying here on News Today, right here on your election headquarters, your Joy News channel. Now imagine contributing to put up a police post only for it to be empty 4 months after completion. Now that's the plight of residents of Englishi Amanfrom who suffer a spate of robbery attacks consistently. Now according to the residents, calls to get the Ghana Police Service to post police personnel there to keep the place safe has yielded no results. Well, Derek Sam has visited the area and now reports.
In 2015, between February and June, they had incessant robbery attacks on them. I'm speaking about residents here at Amanfrom and Kaswa. And so at a point in time, they petitioned the IGP for a police post. They were asked to come in to help. So they put up this container you see right behind me. But upon completion, they went back to the IGP to furnish them with some police officers to actually keep the area safe. But it appears that even after persistent calls for police officers to man the post still remains empty. It's become a white elephant. I want to speak to some residents and then the leaders here. So how long has it been since you constructed this police post?
Oh, I mean about 4 months ago.
Okay, so 4 months ago you were ready for the police officers to come in, but they are still not here. And I also hear that the robbery attacks have begun.
Yeah, I mean they are sort of. I mean, some not all, not like at first. But I mean we experience. I mean some what do you call robbery cases, but not at first because. When they started the other, I mean, last year, February, between February and June, in fact, the police came in and now it went down. So now, no, despite the fact that it's not stopped, still we have some sort of 1 or 2 robberies. But, yeah.
I'll come back. So let me speak to Reverend Kwate. Yeah. You're also a resident here. Your police post appears very empty. You don't have people here to man the post. Do you still feel safe?
Oh, not really. You know, once the police are here, you are very assured of what you can sleep, your children and everything. You can do whatever you want to do without having much problem. And the reason why we built this very container is the robbery, which was so rampant here. And for now, when the police came in and they arrested most of them, the robbing is no more as first. Though we've been having, yes, still we've been having it in the interland more than the main road as it was first.
What was the last time you heard of an attack?
Last week we had one.
Well, Director of Public Affairs at the Ghana Police Service, Superintendent Sefazatha, he's been responding to this very issue and several others relating to security in communities across the country. Well, he's been speaking on the AM show to my colleague, Mama Vio Soboji.
It's not a matter that the police has refused occupying the place and working. You could hear from the 2 gentlemen themselves that there are efforts afoot to ensure that the police come in, and that there was something that was inhibiting police moving into it, and that police have given a date that they will come and open it. So I don't think there's any big deal about that. I think they have a genuine concern. Otherwise, they would have said that, oh, we have done this thing, and there's the possibility of the police, occupying it, and they are refusing to come. But you see that they don't have anything against the police. They think that the police, even in the absence of their presence there, they have instituted a patrol which has assuaged or mitigated the problem for them, and that is what I was going to say. Wherever, we think that the situation, crime situation, is getting worse, and there's no immediate police station, then the police put measures in place to patrol the place, to bring down the fear of crime and to cut down crime generally. And that's the police post or the police station itself. It's not a solution, total solution to the problem, and that other factors must also come to play.
But I'm also picking some information that is because of the bad nature of the roads in Amanfrom generally. That's why the police been prolonging their relocation.
I'm not aware about that. Perhaps the Accra region can give you more accurate information as to why, but I'm not aware. I don't think the police will refuse to go and inhabit the place and work because of bad roads. Bad road may hinder effective policing, but the police will not refuse to go there because of bad roads.
I remember when the robberies were happening in Amanfrom rampantly.
Yes.
One of the issues that came up from the police angle was the nature of the roads.
Yes.
So, how far can you chase someone when the road
but
is
they
so
were working
terrible?
all right. They didn't say that because of the bad roads wouldn't work. They will work. They were chasing up to their abilities. If they chase and they're able to get them, why not? If they are not able to get them and they are impeded by the road, that is so. But you don't say that because of the road, as a police institution, as a police station, won't work or won't go and work because the roads are not good.
Now, owners of motorcycles yet to pass inspection by the customs units have been given a month's ultimatum to pay the necessary duty costs or risk losing them. Upper West Region Sector Commander of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Assistant Commissioner George Atakrofi, gave the warning at today's tax education workshop in Wa, from where Rafiq Salam reports.
The aim of the one-day workshop organized by the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority is to facilitate trade and improve the tax compliance level of their clients in order for them to meet their revenue target. The Upper West Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority has been given a revenue target of 2.3 million Ghana cedis to meet. Upper West Sector Commander of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Assistant Commissioner George Atakrofi, stated that for them to meet the target, they need to seal all areas of revenue leakage in their catchment area. To address that, they have given owners of uncustomed vehicles and motorbikes a grace period of 1 month to voluntarily go to the nearest customs office to pay the duties involved. He warned those who fail to take advantage of the special dispensation will have their vehicles and motorbikes intercepted and 300% penalty imposed on them, in addition to the duty and taxes involved.
I would advise them that, especially those who buy vehicles, they must check from customs before they go ahead to buy vehicles, to ensure that the vehicles they are buying, the owners have already paid the customs duties and taxes on them before sale of such vehicles to them. If they fail to do that, then the law will catch up with them, because there is this caveat emptor. Buyer must be aware, and we've been advertising in the newspapers that if you want to buy any vehicle, please seek clearance from customs to verify whether such vehicles they pay the duties and taxes. If you fail to do that and you buy that vehicle, then the duties will be imposed on you with a penalty for you to pay before such vehicles will be released.
Assistant Commissioner Kurfi also expressed worry over the increasing number of smuggled goods into the country using unapproved routes, which he said plans were far afoot to put an lid on them.
We have put in place regional task force who will go around to intercept on customs motorbikes and vehicles, even within the Wa town. And we have also intensified patrols in the frontiers, along the frontiers, so that any attempt being made by the smugglers will be able to arrest them and seize their goods.
Reporting for J News, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
Now, police at Bekwai in the Ashanti region have arrested the man who allegedly murdered a woman described as his girlfriend at Koneyao near Bekwai. The arrest of the man, identified only as Frenchman, sparked protests from residents who demanded instant justice. Well, John Kwesi Debra has more in the following report.
Frenchman is said to have inflicted multiple cuts on a woman whose name is given as Betty, resulting in her death on Friday night. It is unclear the motive for the dastardly act, as he went into hiding after committing the incident soon after they had returned from a wake-keeping. Police arrested him at a nearby town on Monday after 3 days of search, as some residents identified him in an attempt to escape. Residents of Koneyao, upon hearing of suspect's arrest, stormed the Bekwai Divisional Command headquarters demanding to see him. Police and some local volunteers put up a strong resistance, resulting in exchanges injuring at least one person. The angry youth are threatening revenge on the volunteers, who are said to be butchers.
See, all will be our head. Another son and was the phone on the pass, on the penny Fiano, and to come here to Siviano. You know, the person from the one, parents, your and a penny it was another police station here. Oh, by the independent.
Meanwhile, relatives of the deceased are mourning for the loss of their daughter. Her mother, Akuya, suggests the suspect is a violent man who threatens to harm the people he disagreed with, at least, or no provocation.
Betty Kia was say, Betty will be a cudino, or no, basa. To the same, no, any rad them up when I miss Mura them will be. So, this is yes, or any corner, and a whole Betty Minim, and I miss me so blind and a sort of brand Italian train to see anymore. It the agent of a catch him say, when any dear Granyard will bet me a day, I ain't be and to me, my just say beer, mine bet me a day. I be kun, or be a son in any more dear. You mean I shall so over Kuno. My children is a kind of sick idea, and you no be a cassa, no actress kind. So we are bearman, we are bone, no actress kind, so I'm finding some money.
Head of the family, Ejasa Akwadie, says he was informed by a nephew after Friday's incident. Frenchman had alluded to killing Betty with a knife.
Already now, Casano, more fast about who Fiamma or Bonamania say, Wobekum more fasten. And Titamo no boy Sakrana Manessa and Wobekum more fasten. No Sanka timber, a bebo mamania, Neke baby son at the coin. What the iron or so bad, Ubekuno. And when Timia makes Bo Obia Mania Copin time say, one baby mania by a wide Wokuno, after them on.
Efforts to get official comment from the police were unsuccessful after a long wait in the absence of the commander.
You're watching news today here on your Journey channel. Multi TV is also available on your Go TV channel 144 and your DSTV channel 421. Well, let's break protocol a bit. Baba Tado has a lot more sports. She's joining us earlier than usual. Stay with us.